Welcome to HASHIMA, a brand new DayZ map which has taken myself and the community by storm with its unique and intriguing take on what a DayZ map should be, filled with intricate details, scary scenes and bunker quests. This new map is quickly becoming my favourite DayZ map to play. As a disclaimer, we're totally unaffiliated with the map maker himself, but welcome to Ted's Guide to HASHIMA, a map by Creepy Crappy Show. Before we get to all the map layouts, bunkers and all the cool stuff, I just want to say that for me, unlike most DayZ modded maps, HASHIMA truly feels like a Japanese dystopia, which for me really makes it stand out. I mean, where else can you have an Asai before you face the final bunker? Lots of the assets have been reskinned to be more Japanese, and it's details like this that matter for immersion. Now an obligatory massive spoiler warning from here on. As always, I'd advise to go explore first and come back here if you need to. HASHIMA is essentially a cluster of islands connected by man-made pathways. But before you even think about swinging from island to island, well, you can't. You start losing health as soon as you enter the water, and you seem to vomit when you come out of it. On spawning in, you'll find yourself in a suitably themed t-shirt somewhere on this island of West HASHIMA. There is a summer camp here, and to get your hydration started, the first well you'll find is here. The first large POI that everyone comes across when they first start playing this map is Ico Stadium. It's a really interesting structure, worth exploring. Just beware the bear. If you make your way here to Haruki City on the spawn island, this is where things start to get really interesting. The verticality and sheer complexity of this city is breathtaking. And you can usually find yourself a shotgun or a rifle on one of the roofs of these buildings. Heading to the heart of the map, you'll find New HASHIMA. The mapmaker has been kind enough to provide not only overground but also underground pathways through these bridges. And as we move on to the heart of the map, New HASHIMA, you'll find yet another impressive and complex area, which will be great for PvP with lots of vantage points and walkways. It is on this island that the map starts to get really interesting from a lore point of view. Through a combination of notes and environmental storytelling, these red dots can tell you more, but we'll come back to that later. For now, following this other land bridge over to East HASHIMA, you'll find Yasuo City, the impressive Okubo Airport, and also this bunker. These bunker doors that are scattered around the map require key cards to open. You will also need a light source. I'll now show you the long process on how to access the gas bunker in the Necro lab. My personal favourite place to start this process is the BIOS lab in Overcay. My rationale for this is simple. It's the easiest place to find loads of NBC zombies you need to card farm. The green, red and black NBCZs all spawn ID cards, and I would advise you farm at least 2 or 3 of these in good condition. Interestingly, these ID cards don't open these doors. I would then make my way to Okubo Airport to find the ID card printer. Thus far, in my experience, the position of this printer is static, so I'll try to stay off the mic as much as possible, so you can follow the route in peace. The ID card printer appears to spawn exclusively here. You will notice it has slots for a 9V battery, an ID card and a USB stick. Thankfully, finding the USB stick can be pretty easy, as it can spawn in this hidden tent in the forest. Here you will find a note, which will be really interesting for lore, which we'll cover later, and a USB stick. There is also a second spawn point for the USB stick, which is in the prison on the south of the island, but this is significantly more difficult. But follow the path I'm about to show you and you should find the spawn point. At this point you need to return to the spawn island, as nestled next to Ico Stadium are the Pest Labs. Here you will find the blank ID cards. Only bunker 2 and 3 that these have been found in so far. I'm just showing you the way that I found one. You may need to search all of these bunkers. We actually got very lucky here in bunker 2, and I almost walked past this ID card. They do quite like to be nestled on these little shelves. If you do need to go into bunker 3, be prepared, things get a little dark. So now once you've found full NBC, which you should find in all those bunkers you've been searching, you're ready to print the ID card and enter the Necro lab. Just drag all of the items into the slots, including the 9V battery, which are notoriously difficult to find as they have to be completely full. And just wait. Whilst you do so, I'd like to ask you to drop a like, hit subscribe, or leave a comment, as it really helps us out as a channel. If you found anything we've done helpful, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. The printer will spit out a key card of Sakura, whose surname we find out is Kobayashi, which is a really interesting surname if you consider the map maker's penchant for movie references. But back to business, you can now use the cards to enter the bunker. Just make sure you've got your full NBC suit on before you do it. This corridor is very long, so through the magic of editing, I've cut a lot of it out. But at the end you will find these construction style steps. The first gap in the walkway on the left hand side leads to a bunker. In here I have found some of the best weaponry in the games, such as M4s, DMRs, etc. And I do believe there are loot spots all the way down these causeways. In this room we find 2 scientific bunkers, but typically not much loot. What we're really after is down through this next bunker door. You will require another key card to gain access to this bunker, but I would avoid using your special printed one if it still has any use left, for reasons I will explain later. Once you get here, this is a very repetitive process of ups and downs. So essentially up steps, down steps, turn right, repeat, until you get to the very end. I have edited out a whole load of these steps, just because there are loads of them, but feel free to explore as there are plenty of loot spots along the way. But when you reach these final steps opposite the Quonset, they will lead you somewhere entirely different. As far as I can tell, there isn't much loot to be had around this area. If you follow the tunnel, you'll get where you need to go. Whilst we're just walking through tunnels, let me just take this opportunity. At the risk of sounding like I'm kissing his ass, I really do admire the map maker here. The attention to detail, the rescaling of the items. There are some constructible items which I've found, which I've yet to reveal in this video, just haven't had time. There are so many things on this map, and it really is amazing. Kudos and hats off to the map maker. And here is what we came all this way for. And excuse me for butchering, the HIROSHIS Type 89. If you've been following the lore through the notes, you will probably have heard reference to Project 89, which definitely appears linked to this weapon. Remember this card reader at BIOS? You can use Secura's key to open this door. If you have been following the lore, there's clearly been something shady going on, with lots of distrust amongst the workers of this company. But there is something odd about Sakura having access to both of the most valuable stations, and that surname Kobayashi I can't shake. But the reason for coming back here is this film case. It seems to be the source of the ammo for the experimental weapon, which you unpack and then load. Although I've yet to figure out exactly what it is, it does weird things to players. This video has barely touched the surface of the lore on this map, but this final letter from Sakura seems to explain it all. She's still called Kobayashi though. The dev has also created a website with a terminal and a database where you can explore the lore further. I keep finding out more and I may make a lore video in future. For now, all I'll say is this is a wonderful map. To do something like this off your own back in your spare time is really impressive, the attention to detail here. And to quote the dev himself, apparently this is the beginning. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.